Have you spent your whole life being kind, only to feel like an easy target as you get older? We're often taught to be warm-hearted, patient and forgiving. But the truth is, if you don't learn to live a little colder and more detached, you might end up drained, manipulated and exhausted. This video will reveal 6 powerful reasons why emotional distance after 70 isn't about being harsh, it's about protecting your peace. These insights come from lessons many people only realize later in life, that being overly available, overly emotional, and overly agreeable can slowly chip away at the life you worked so hard to build. But this isn't about shutting your heart completely, it's about choosing wisely where you open it. You'll learn how to give without being emptied, care without being consumed, and remain kind without being used. Stay with us until the end, because one of the final points may completely change how you see the rest of your life. It's something most people don't realize until it's too late. Let's number 1. Emotional detachment protects your peace. As you get older, your peace becomes more precious. One of the best ways to protect it is by letting go of unnecessary emotional entanglements. Emotional detachment doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you start choosing where your care goes. Not every argument deserves your energy. Not every family conflict needs your intervention. Not every unkind word requires a response. You've earned the right to keep your heart from being pulled in every direction, especially by people who expect more from you than they're willing to give. Love is not obligation. True love doesn't ask you to lose sleep over someone else's chaos. It doesn't demand that you fix problems that were never yours to carry. When you detach emotionally, you're setting a quiet boundary, one that preserves your sanity. Take Robert, for example. At 81, he was the emotional rock of his extended family. Every issue, disagreement, or hurt feeling landed on his shoulders. But he realized his days were growing shorter, and too much of his energy was being wasted on problems that weren't his. Now, he listens, but he doesn't fix. He supports, but he doesn't chase. And in doing so, he has found a peace that had been missing for decades. When you detach emotionally, you walk away from drama, even when invited in. You choose silence over stress, distance over damage. People might call you cold, but what they really mean is that you've stopped being convenient. You've stopped absorbing everyone else's emotions and started protecting your own. And that's where true freedom begins. Number 2. Saying no without guilt preserves your energy. After 70, your time and energy are sacred. One of the strongest acts of self-respect is learning to say no without guilt. Many of us spent years being agreeable, saying yes when we meant no, but that way of living leaves you tired, used up, and quietly resentful. Living with emotional detachment means realizing that you are no longer here to be everything for everyone. And that's not selfish, it's survival. Every time you say yes to something you don't want to do, you're saying no to something you do want, like rest, peace, or simply enjoying your own company. Think about Sandra, 76. She spent her life as the yes person in her family, constantly rearranging her plans to accommodate others. But last year, something changed. She realized that always saying yes had stolen years of her joy. Now she says no, kindly, firmly, and without explaining herself. And guess what? The world kept spinning, and the people who truly cared adapted. You don't need to justify your boundaries. The people who respect you won't demand explanations, and the ones who do have been benefiting from your lack of boundaries for far too long. There's power in a simple no, not a cold refusal, but a clear, steady, unapologetic boundary. Saying no gives you space for rest, for reflection, for joy. When you stop feeling guilty for protecting your time and energy, your days become lighter, your nights quieter, and your life more fulfilling. Number 3. Selective empathy protects your mental health. After 70, you start realizing that while empathy is a beautiful trait, giving too much of it too freely can unravel your own mental well-being. Selective empathy isn't about shutting your heart down. It's about deciding where and how you invest your emotional energy. When you feel deeply for everyone, you absorb their pain, their fears, their chaos, and over time, that weight begins to drain you. People come to you because they know you care, but also because they know you'll take on more than you should. Take Gerald, 83, deeply kind man who spent decades internalizing the struggles of everyone around him. Over time, his health declined, his sleep suffered, and his spirit grew heavy. Until one day, a doctor told him something that changed everything. You can care, Gerald, but you don't have to collapse. From that day forward, he gave himself permission to care, just enough to stay kind, but not so much that he lost himself. Selective empathy means listening without absorbing, supporting without sacrificing your peace, recognizing that some people want solutions, they just want someone to carry their burdens. And after 70, you've earned the right to say, not anymore. Living coldly after 70 isn't about shutting people out. It's about protecting your peace. It's about setting boundaries and choosing clarity over confusion. It's about finally putting your well-being at the center of your decisions. Not because you've stopped caring, but because you've started caring more about the right things. Which of these insights resonated with you the most? Was it stepping away from overgiving, the power of silence, or the deep truth about detaching from what you can't control? These aren't just ideas, they're tools. Tools you can start using today to live with more strength, peace, and authenticity. Living this way isn't easy at first. It takes courage, but with each boundary you set, each pause before reacting, and each moment you choose yourself, it gets easier and more rewarding. Because this stage of life isn't about winding down, it's about refining. You're not here to prove anything anymore. You've earned your place. You've lived, learned, lost, and loved, and now you get to decide what truly matters. Thank you for being here today. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating content that informs and inspires. We'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Share one thing you learned and how you plan to use it in your life. Until next time, take care and protect your peace.